This is a 2017 Discovery 58. We've had a couple of Discoveries on the channel in the past. This, I think, is the biggest one. It's also an absolutely stunning boat. The most obvious thing from here is this pale grey topsides. It's a really beautiful finish. You can see how shiny it is there. And underneath it's all copper coated as well. So that is a sort of like a permanent anti-fouling system. If you're wondering about this here, this is Berthon's Customs Warehouse. It means that you can have a boat that's ex-VAT, perfectly legally brought in and put up for sale. And it basically excludes it from normal VAT situations. So it's a really good way of selling boats that are mostly used abroad. Anyway, we're going to head on board and we're going to give you the full tour of this. And yeah, it's worth seeing. It's a beautiful, beautiful boat. So from up here on the boardwalk, you can see what a pretty boat she is. And these are a deck saloon configuration. You can see you've got the big windows here, and that makes them really suitable for long distance and long-term liveaboard. The owner of this one and his partner, who I believe is now his wife in fact, bought this and had a lot of customization done and set it up so that they could sail this, which they did, from the UK out to the USA and then into the Caribbean. Spent a lot of time on it, having a really fantastic time, and it is absolutely perfect for that. So lots of extra bits and pieces. You can see the davit system on the back here, for example, for a tender. But up above, that fella there, we'll see it better when we go on board, is a solar power system. And then there's also things like a bimini you can see just here for a bit of shade. I come up here and you can see that's the solar panels across the top. Also a barbecue back here as well. This fella here is a life raft. And then this is the deck. They're a really nice looking boat wherever you are. This is the bimini up here to give it a shade over the helm. That's a really good idea. Got these big wheels, as you can see, twin wheels, so whichever tack you're on, you've got a great view forward. Let's have a wander around the decks first of all, and then we'll head inside, because I think the inside is kind of the most interesting bit of these, really, in many respects. Down here, if you wonder what these are, that is a gas locker. So your gas tanks are in there, and it means that if there was ever a leak, then they would leak out off the boat, not into the boat. Very important. One in front of it is just for fenders. You can see the substantial rigging on these. Amazing. Twin forestays, as you can see up here at the front. You've got the dolphin seats. That's these two seats either side, so you can sit here and watch the dolphins play in the bow wave, as they like to do. And we come right up here to the front. Lovely looking boat, isn't it? These two poles here, incidentally, allow you to pole the two foresails out, one each side. If you're running downwind, you can really catch the wind with those then. Let's head on back down this side, because the interior on these is always palatial. It's an aft cabin layout, so it's pretty much the full length of the boat, and that's what gives you so much space. But actually, you still get a really good cockpit, because the cockpit is, as you can see, we're up on top of the aft cabin now. These are the hatches above it. We'll see those from inside in a minute. But then you step down here and you've got a nice enclosed cockpit area, and this raised section back here, so that when you're stood at the helm, you've got a terrific view forward down the boat. Let's head on in. Table here, you can see these leaves come up so that you can sit around it and dine. And then in the center there, you've got cold storage. And if we head on down here, this is what I mean about the deck saloon layout, because when you come into here, you can see you've got these big windows all the way around. You've got a great view out. You don't feel like you're sort of buried down underneath like you are with a lot of sailing boats. That's very nice indeed. I like the light coloured wood. That works well. And the pale grey leather. It's all nice and contemporary, very smart. If we go over here, there's a little button that we can press, which I think is that one. Yeah, there we go. And then you've got your multifunction display that rises up like so. There we go. And you've got further instrumentation around here. Your switch gear is down here, your radio. That's central heating, that one just there. And I believe there's air conditioning on here as well. I'm sure there is if it's been to the Caribbean. There's got to be, isn't there? There's a great area over on this side to sit and chat and dine. It's a really social area. And again, those big windows just give you this fantastic view out. I think what we'll do is we'll head forward first and then work our way back. So down on this side, this is for chart stowage. So you can get some real proper full-size charts into there. storage down underneath here. Clip those over again. And then this is all drawers down here. And then if we come on round and head down to the forward section, this is for your guests. So what you've got up here is there is a cabin up here in the bow. That is the main guest cabin, the VIP guest cabin. So really good size, double bed in the centre, loads of light and air into here. You've got these big hatches overhead. All of these have blinds, of course, as you'd expect. So if you pull it that way, you've got that's to keep the bugs out. Pull it the other way if you want a night screen. Hanging lockers in here. He says finding shelves. I'll do that out later. Hanging locker in here. There we go. There's a stereo in here as well, so it's got the Fusion stereo system. There were a lot of upgrades on this boat when it was first built. These, I think, are the air conditioning controls over here. Yeah, there we go. That one we just looked into, and then if we come back a little bit further, cabin 3. So you've got two really nice sized bunks in there. I think, in fact, that bottom one looks to me like it might be a double. So you can use that as two singles or maybe a small double. All these cushions here are your cockpit cushions. So when you're using the boat, you'd have those outside, of course, making life a lot more comfortable out there in the cockpit. Drawers in here, and there's also then a lot of storage in here as well. Again, full of gear at the moment, including a dehumidifier, but normally when the boat's in use, that's all cleared out for people's clobber. And then on the other side, there's the day heads, and of course these two cabins share this. So what you have here is a separate shower stall with an opening hatch above it. That's a nice idea. And then if I come right round here, and you'll see we've got the toilet up ahead and the sink and a heated towel rail. All very nice. Let's head on back a little bit further. So that's the guest area, and that's really nice about this layout because it means that you've got separate zones for people to go into at night rather than everybody being crammed in together. It works really, really well. Back past here, and we'll head down this side now. So back here you've got cold storage, plenty of, essential of course if you're going offshore for a long time. And more here. Air conditioning controls for this area, and then if we come on round, then you've got the cooker over here. So it's a 5-burner hob plus the oven, of course, and that is gimbaled. So when the boat's heeling, that stays straight. You can use that when you are sailing. Loads of storage about the place. Again, essential for spending long periods of time on the boat, which is exactly what this was built for. And then you've got sink over on this side, and a draining area just there. There's a microwave up in here as well. Loads more storage around here, up in places like this. Now if you come right back, this is this aft cabin. So for the owner, you've got this private domain right at the back of the boat. How lovely is that? Big windows all the way around. There's a load of light into here. You can see it, hatches up above, windows all the way around. There's blinds for those, of course. So you can just see up underneath there, that drops down to cover those at night if you want to. Also in here then, there is hanging locker. Again, you've got dehumidifiers in here. These are really nice to see because in the winter, then you can put those around the place. Keep everything nice and dry and fresh, and it does feel all nice and dry and fresh in here, it has to be said. Drawers here. You've got more storage around over on that side, and then you've got shelves over here, and in fact there's a safe in there as well, which is a good idea. Again, if you're long distance cruising, you put your passports and that sort of stuff in there, and then if somebody nips on the boat sometime and you've turned your back for 5 minutes, well then they can't get to the really important stuff. And over on this side then, of course, you've got your own private ensuite, so that is in there. Like so. Separate shower stall again, and you've got the towel rail again. All very nice. Some AV equipment in here as well. And that is a little drop down dressing table. So you can sit on this seat down here and you've got everything where you want it. Now if we head on around this way, we're back through this galley, and then on the other side we've got access to the engineering areas. So back through here and down here, so all of your switchgear is here. So your DC circuit breakers and all of your AC stuff is here as well. So if you plugged into shore power, or if you've got the generator fired up, then you can run all this kind of stuff from that, including the washing machine. That's tucked away in there. And a bit more storage next to it. And then finally in here, something that you don't often find in sailing boats is really good access to the engine space. And you can see he's got this all set up so everything is there where you can get to it quickly. There's a Yanmar diesel engine, and that's 160 horsepower. So obviously it's great as an auxiliary to get in and out of harbour, but also there's plenty of power there if you need to use that to run when there's no wind. Then you can do, the generator lives in there as well. That's at the back, really decent sized generator. So that's running all the aircon systems and washing machine and anything else you want to run that runs from the 240 volt. And then again, you can get to things like the fuel filters very easily. In fact, there's a changeover on this one. So you've got twin fuel filters. And if you had a blockage, what you can do is if that one was to block up, which is running on currently, you can just switch that lever across, run from that one while you sort that one out. So a lot of redundancy, a lot of nice ideas. And that one there is a water maker. So with that running, it will actually create its own fresh water. Again, brilliant if you're going across the Atlantic. You don't have to worry about your water capacity in quite the same way because you can make your own. So that is a very, very nice feature indeed. So there we go. I'm going to come up to this chart area, I think. I think it's a brilliant boat. As I say, it was designed for a couple to run, and they did. Them and their dog, Gandalf, headed across the Atlantic, headed up the Caribbean, lived the dream, and what a boat to do it on. Absolutely fantastic. So that's it. Huge thanks to Berthon, they organised this tour, and thanks to you guys as ever for watching. We'll catch you on another one of these very soon. Take care, bye-bye.